Welcome back folks, my name is LastKnownMeal and today we're gonna be talking about the Day Before. So if you were not following, the Day Before is an upcoming open world survival MMO, and when the first trailer for this game initially came out, it attracted a lot of people, making it right now the most wishlist game on Steam. Now keep in mind, initially this game was supposed to come out on the 21st of June this year, so basically in a few weeks. But yesterday we have learned that the game has been postponed for March 1st, 2023 because they want to move from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5 to, as they said in their message, they want to utilize all of the latest feature this engine has. And obviously Epic has made the transition from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5 more streamlined because of course they want as many developer and as many games to basically switch to their latest iteration of the engine itself, offering you various new features that previous engine Unreal Engine 4 didn't have. So when the first trailer came out for this game, a lot of people started having a lot of red flags for this because this looks like one of those games which ticks all of the boxes you would want to tick in a survival MMO, where you will be able to go from these various locations, including the city center itself, to these open fields, dense forest areas, these farmlands and lakes, where you can explore, scavenge whatever you can scavenge for, fight various sorts of zombies, and obviously other people who are, going into the zone to probably do the same, to loot and to destroy zombies. Now at the same time you will have like these save hubs where you will be able to sell some of that stuff, and of course you will have like this house, as they showed here, like a shed where you will be able to upgrade your weapon, change various different attachments and all of that. And when you look at the game, like graphically, it looks extremely detailed, and it looks like one of those games which, as a lot of people have been saying, look insanely well in the gameplay, like footage, like trailers, but once it comes out it is nothing like it was advertised before. Because in the past there has been a lot of games which are portrayed one way in a gameplay trailer, and once they come out there's something entirely different, not just from the look of the game but through the actual gameplay and gameplay loop itself. Because keep in mind, when you make an open world MMO, especially a survival one, you really need to have a gameplay loop which is interesting and not something which is going to become boring in like a week or a month after you play it. At the same time, all of what you're showing here has to be flowing well, otherwise people are going to say, well, you really didn't advertise it like that. Especially when you look at the level of detail you will have when you're driving, for example, this vehicle, where the mud is going to be, reacting with the vehicle itself, where you will have fuel to like fill in, where your character will have different elements, like for example, thirst, hunger, cold, and all of that. And other zombies are gonna be attacking various places, other people are gonna be attacking various places, and looking at these gameplay trailers, all of this looks extremely scripted. It looks like Ubisoft when they basically advertise their Division games, or like other Ghost Recon, where they hire those actors who will portray like how the game is going to play out, where they have this all of like tactical stuff, like, oh yeah, we're gonna be moving 5 clicks east, we're gonna be fighting these enemies here and there, and we're gonna be moving into like different zones, different groups, different areas to like capture the objective. In reality, it never actually works like that, and usually it becomes a chaos, or if the gameplay loop, or well, the gameplay formula is not well, you will just end up with nothing, and it's not going to be as enjoyable and as immersive as you're trying to portray it. Now don't get me wrong, I want this game to succeed, I want this game to be the best version of itself, because it definitely looks like one of those games which I might potentially enjoy, but at the same time I've been disappointed so many times, as probably other people, that I'm cautiously optimistic and excited, but I don't want to be too excited about this, because honestly, until we get some raw like gameplay footage, and until maybe some people play it or experience it, or once the game comes out, it is impossible to know if this game is going to look like this. Now keep in mind, this is developed by Fantastic, and Fantastic actually made Prop Night, and like for example, Prop Night right now on Steam has mixed reviews. And one of the biggest issues people have been raising here is that, especially for people who have like more than 800 hours in this game is that the game is not balanced well, and that the updates are not there when they were supposed to be. Now keep in mind, Prop Night is a smaller game in scale. It's basically a 4v1 multiplayer, game where you take like different props and you try to escape the actual attacker. But now you're moving from this generally smaller game into something which is going to be huge. I mean, the world they're actually portraying here looks insane when it looks like the level of detail and graphics, and how much of this is actually going to be available once it comes out. Well, that is a question. Like, again, all of it looks insanely well, but usually we'll have the scenarios in like heavy role-playing game, not in a casual or, well, even like MMO like survival, like for example this one. It will never happen like this, because the people, once they go into the game, they will try to do everything to find exploits and to basically get as many resources as possible. So how is this gameplay loop going to work once you have different people in the actual zone? How many people are going to be in the zone? How many people are going to be attacking you? How are the zombies going to be reacting to all of that? What's going to be happening with loot? How you keep that loot? How is the netcode going to be done? Is it going to have lag? All of these questions, which obviously should be raised, but at the same time, like, it's something normal, because if none of these things work well, your game will fail, because releasing an MMO, releasing an online game today is a huge risk, because if anything from this game, especially like the bugs and glitches, if the game is not polished when it comes out in reality, because scripted gameplay is one thing, but once you have people, as I said, doing different stuff, that's when you actually like stress the game. And another problem which I have is that I do hope that they have some sort of beta, or they have some sort of like, I don't know, closed reviews, so that people can actually try it out and see if it's actually work like this once it comes out, because right now this can be anything. And when you add all of these details here, it makes me wonder, like, is this actually something that is going to happen on release? Because Fantastic is not a new studio, but at the same time Fantastic is also not a huge studio, and games like these usually require a lot of people and huge teams in order to properly work. But again, it's not impossible for a smaller game to come out and from a smaller team to come out and to be interesting and fun. I'm not denying that, but at the same time, looking at the level of detail here, which is something even Ubisoft failed to do, like, how are you going to now improve on this? How is your gameplay formula going to be different than, for example, what Ubisoft tried and ultimately didn't pan out exactly as they wanted it to be? And then on the other side, is this game going to have microtransactions, and how are those microtransactions going to work in this environment? Are they going to be cosmetic? How is this going to now react to like different loot you find? Are you going to be able to buy that loot? Because if all of those things happen, they will ultimately ruin the game itself. So as I said, right now the game is set to release on March 1st, 2023. So we have like a whole year until this is out. So hopefully they keep us in touch on the development of this game, because I know this looks insane and I want this to succeed, but right now the day before is raising a lot of flags, a lot of red flags in my end, and I don't know, like, how is this going to properly function once it comes out, because the world looks insane and some places look a little bit empty. So again, how is this gonna be if you fill it with more people? Also, going from like the system requirements, the recommended is 1060, so graphically alright. It's gonna be interesting how this is gonna be running on 1060 for recommended, but we'll see, especially like what's gonna be happening besides the areas you have shown, because I've seen a lot of areas here that keep repeating. So how many areas, explorable areas, you're going to have? Because DayZ also tried to do the same, like the standalone game. They overall had a lot of issues where even to this day, like the DayZ game is still very problematic and still has issues which were not fixed. So how is this game going to now focus on that? Because especially going into this gameplay, like for example, where they go into this farm, they fight some enemies, alarm sounds, and then you have like two cars approach in the end. So those cars are probably going to be like different players who heard the sound, and now they're gonna be going in to see what it is, get your loot and all of that, and then you escape in this little room. So again, a lot of questions, little answers, but I do hope that Fantastic is behind this, because being #1 wishlist game on Steam, if this comes out and has issues, this company is toast. It's just how it is. And I hope that, like for example, some of the update issues they have for Prop Night don't actually happen in the day before, because you don't update the game, initial release is a failure, your game is gonna be a failure. That's just a sad reality of games today, especially online games. People just don't want to invest too much time into it. Like, if it's not interesting, it's not interesting. They will just move on, simple as that. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Tell me down below, what do you think about this? I'm very interested to hear if you are excited about this game, if you're worried about this game, what parts of the game are you worried about? And these were the worries I am personally afraid of when it comes to the game itself. Also, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this video, and also don't forget to check us out on Twitter and Discord. And also huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. This is LKM signing out, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.